Highbridge, a division of Recorded Books, presents Mourning Lincoln by Martha Hodes, read by Donna Postel. Good Friday, 1865. The play had already started when the Lincolns arrived. As the honored guests made their way up the stairway to the dress circle, the actors stopped and the audience cheered. As the band struck up "Hail to the Chief," the president took an impromptu bow. It was Good Friday, April 14th, 1865. The Washington Evening Star had carried a front-page advertisement for Laura Keene's appearance at Ford's Theater in the light-hearted comedy Our American Cousin, and an announcement inside indicated that the president and Mrs. Lincoln would be attending that night. The Lincolns had extended an invitation to General Ulysses S. Grant and his wife Julia, and when they declined, to Assistant Secretary of War Thomas Eckert, who declined as well. Next down the list were Clara Harris and Major Henry Rathbone, who happily accepted. She was the daughter of a New York senator, and he, Clara's stepbrother and fiancé. It was an evening that would ruin their lives. The presidential box, personally decorated by one of the Ford brothers for the occasion, hovered above stage left. Lincoln lowered himself into the walnut rocking chair, with Mary seated to his right. At perhaps 10:15, the audience roared with laughter as the actor Harry Hawk, in the role of the backwoods American cousin of British relatives, uttered the line, "Well, I guess I know enough to turn you inside out, old gal, you suckdologizing old man-trap." Then came a pistol crack. Was it part of the play? An accidental firing by a soldier in the audience? Now a man leaped to the stage. Was that part of the script? But he jumped from the president's box and caught one foot in the decorative swags, waving a knife. Some heard him shout, "Sic semper tyrannis," thus always to tyrants. Some heard, "The South is avenged," and others heard nothing at all. It didn't seem like a play anymore, and for a split second, everything froze. By the time the audience jolted from their seats, the gunman had vanished. Up in the presidential box, Clara Harris's hands and face were covered with blood, her clothes saturated. Henry Rathbone hadn't seen or heard a thing until the shot rang out. He had tried to prevent the assailant from vaulting to the stage, provoking the man to slash his arm from elbow nearly to shoulder. After that, Rathbone could only shout, "Stop that man!" Then Mary Lincoln thought that the blood all over Harris was her husband's, and kept screaming, "My husband's blood! My dear husband's blood!" Now came shouts from the audience about murder and calls for doctors. People rushed the stage. Women fainted. Soldiers hurried in with bayonets. At 10:30 p.m., from 10th Street, outside Ford's Theater, the news traveled through the darkness. People shouting, rapping on windows, pounding on doors. Mounted patrols galloped through throngs of frightened people, with soldiers, sailors, and policemen everywhere. Members of the audience had recognized the intruder as the well-known Shakespearean actor John Wilkes Booth, and his name spread rapidly. Word came as well about Secretary of State William Seward. Another man had knocked on the door of his Washington home at about 10:00 p.m., forced his way upstairs, and assaulted Seward right in his bed, where he was recuperating from a recent carriage accident. As the city embarked on a manhunt for the killer and his accomplices, trains and ferries were ordered halted, and guards stood posted at all roads leading out of the capital. Booth and his recruited conspirators had at first planned to abduct the president and hold him hostage in exchange for wartime prisoners, but after Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox on April 9th, they changed the scheme from kidnapping to murder. Simultaneous with Booth's deed, 3 other men were set.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?